Hello everyone, it's Shanna. I'm so glad you stopped by my channel today. Now today we're going to be working with these Spellbinders dies that I was sent along with Kendra's Card Challenge 12 sketches. Let's see, 11 through 15 is what we're going to be working with today. I'm going to finish out my fall series of Kendra's Card Challenge, and I'm going to incorporate some of those Spellbinders floral dies that I just showed you. Now I've already assembled my floral dies just to save on time, but I've got a video that I'll link up below that you can see in how to assemble the flowers. So what we're going to do is we're going to be working on sketch 11, and as you can see I've already kind of mapped it out as I've done on my other ones, and I'm just going to get bring in a card base and we're going to assemble this. The pieces of pattern paper that were part of the cutting were just these small tiny ones here, and then I just added the other pieces to go with it just to coordinate with it. So I've got my card base. This is going to be a top folding, and I'm just going to lay my panel down. As you can see, I've got a beautiful color on the back side, but I want something a little more neutral. And I'm going to do that. Now, I'm trying something different today. I've got just a white board underneath me instead of my, actually I've flipped the my We Are Memory Keepers green glass board over, and I'm using the white side of it because I've been thinking about getting a new craft mat, and I just want a white one. And so I thought, well, I would see what this looks like with just using a white background as I'm crafting. So I'm going to give it a try before I indulge myself in buying a new one. And I'm kind of zoomed in here. I need to zoom out a little bit. So there's our card. And then I'm just going to carefully pull these off, and I'm going to lay down my next panel. And you can see this one had cut aparts on it. So I'll get it laid down. So last night we had a little dinner party for my sister. It was her birthday, and I made some fried chicken and mashed potatoes and gravy and green beans, and my stepmother brought over some biscuits, some 7-Up biscuits, which are just so flaky, and we had cake and ice cream and played games and had presents, and it was just a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed that last night. Let's see, she had to work yesterday, and the rest of us are all retired, so we just planned to have a little meal for her so that when she got off work she could come over and we could celebrate. Now they are getting ready to go on a little vacation, my sister and my parents, so that'll be fun. We've had a string of vacations, Pat and I have, and then our daughter, our oldest daughter, is on vacation with the boys right now. I may have said that in the video yesterday. And then she'll be coming back, and then my sister and parents will be leaving. So none of us have been home really for the entirety of the month. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, I actually think I'm missing a panel on this one, but we're going to move forward with it. Actually, I think I'll bring in a white piece. Let me just get that real quick and kind of tone this down a little bit. Okay, so I just grabbed this panel that I was missing, and it's 4¼ by 3, and then I'll get it laid down on here. So I thought it might kind of tone this down a little bit, and so we'll just add some white to it, and I think it'll look all right. Evidently, when I was looking at my sketches, I missed one of the layers, and so obviously you don't have to do it exactly like the sketch, but when I saw that, I thought, well, that provide me an opportunity to just kind of tone this paper down a little bit. So one of the things that I am missing with just this white on there is having my grid lines, but if I get a white disc glass mat, I will have the grid lines. So that'll be nice. Okay, so now we've got this one glued up and laying aside. I'm going to add a little bit more glue in case it dried while I was cutting that. And then I'm going to get this. This is actually laid over to the edge. Yeah, I'm going to do it like that. To the edge of this patterned paper, not necessarily the white. I like that. I'm glad I brought that in. Now, these are all supposed to be banners, and I need to get them cut. But what I'm going to do is bring in, one of the things I thought I would bring in is this is the Aster die from Spellbinders, and it's part of the Birds and the Bee Garden collection. And I think it's really pretty. They sent it to me, and I've been having a lot of fun working with it. But I thought it would be fun to add it somewhere to this. So I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to do my little edges on here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went off camera to do that because I really don't do a good job of cutting these myself. And so I wanted to try an idea that I had. And my idea was to use one of these octagonal dies and just lay it on there and die cut it out like that. So that's what I did. Okay, so I've got that. Now I'm going to get these laid down, and it looks like they lay right on the edge of this paper here. So I'm going to get it, just get them, I've got this tape here. I'm just going to lay it down on there. Okay, so let's get that going. Get those laid down. Oops, if I can get a hold of them. I've had, I guess, 2.5 cups of coffee, or I guess maybe just 2. I haven't finished drinking, or started drinking this one that I set out. So I'm not quite awake yet this morning. I've been taking advantage of some free time with the kids being on vacation and me not babysitting. I've not had to get up as early, and I've kind of lounged around a little bit. So I'm kind of slow going. Not sure about that. Okay. Probably needed to move that over a smidge or something. I don't know. So we'll get these laid down. And that's a lot of that orangey color there all together. But it's what we're working with, so we'll go with that. All right, so we've got that. Now we're going to decide where we're going to put our flower. I think it'd be nice over there to kind of break up all that orangey tone. Now, isn't this flower just fabulous? I just love these. And these things, they're like, let me look here. They're only like $6.99 for this die set. I mean, $6.99. And if you think about using a bunch of these and the impact you can get, just fabulous. So what I'm going to do is just, and I've already built it, I will link, I've been making a lot of these on my channel, so I will link a video of the assembly of the flowers because I want to show you how to do that. But I think that looks gorgeous. I love it. Okay, and then for my sentiment, I just did some, used my glimmer and my everyday sentiments from Spellbinders, and a big hello from me to you. I think that's really cute, and it'll kind of bring back that white paper that I added and kind of tie everything in together. And I'm just going to lay it flat because I've got plenty of dimension here with my floral. So we'll just get that laid down, line it up, and that is card sketch 11. I love it. I hope you do too. We'll move right on to 12. Okay, so we've got our elements for card sketch 12, and this was the piece of paper that you cut from your 6x6 that was part of the sketch, and then all the other pieces are ones that I've just chosen to bring in. So I'm just going to lay down a 4 1/4 by 5.5 panel, and here I am with these little fall easels on the back of it. This was the one in my last video. I said I think I wasn't certain how I would use that piece of paper, but I'm not gonna. So I'm gonna put it down, just lay this down, get it lined up, straighten it up there a little bit, and then we're gonna use this piece for the center of it, and I think we just want to kind of get it, I guess, as even as we possibly can, and just lay it down on there, and then we'll cut away what's hanging off the edges there. So today is the day that my husband, every week, my husband hangs out with his classmates on Tuesday. So today is his day to do that. So I have the house to myself and I can just craft away. So I like that. Gives me time to play. He's doing his social enjoyment and I am doing mine. And that's okay. All right, so we've got that laid down. I'll throw these aside. I like that. That looks pretty. I actually flipped that paper. I had something else on the other side that I was thinking of using. And and then the back side, well, that would have been what was on the other side. So I'm going to use this. I actually originally had this piece, and because I decided to use the Black-Eyed Susan on there, I felt like I needed a bigger circle base for that. So I'm going to add this. And I think... I was thinking about popping it up, but I'm not going to because there's a lot of dimension on that Black-Eyed Susan. So we'll just lay it flat. For a brief moment, I thought about cutting some fun foam and lifting that circle up, but knowing how much dimension is in that flower, I don't necessarily need that. So I think I'm going to go like this. And like this, and like this. And it looks like I'm supposed to go right up next to it. In fact, I like that better. So good. And I think I just must have just grabbed some strips that I had laying around because you can see the sizes are different on it, which I do that a lot. I will keep these little pieces like this just laying around. Usually I have a little container that I'll throw the little sprigs in and use them because... why not? A lot of times I'll just do a whole card with nothing but strips. I've done that on my channel several times. In fact, I could link that up for you as well. Get that laid down. Now this one is just, it's just kind of a smidge apart. In fact, I think I'll use this little piece here, lay it next to it, just to give me my distance. And that way, maybe they'll both be pretty close to being the same. Just do it like that. Okay. Get that little, whoops, did enough glue on there? I think I need a little bit more glue. Okay, and get that little orange one, or that mustard color one out of there. That way I can use it on this side. Laid down. That'll work. Give me a nice straight line. Okay, perfect. All right, so now what I'm going to do is just snip these babies off. Okay, I like that. That's kind of fun. I like that. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my little sunflower and lay it on there, and I think that looks really pretty. I like that. So I'm just going to get a good amount of glue on here and get it laid down. And I think that looks really pretty. Again, I'm going to go back to the Spellbinders glimmer foil set that I used, and I'm going to find something that I can use for this. And I think I can use this Get Well Soon, but it's going to need some work because I didn't cut it straight. I just glimmered it out and just hopefully I can get it straightened up. Doesn't look very straight. Mercy, this might be harder than I thought. Okay, and then we have that. And I think I will put it over here and let that paper shine. So I'm going to just grab a little piece of foam tape. I've got a piece over here that this one's about shot. And I think I can get it laid down on there and just pop it up. And we'll just put this over here with that. Oops, I'm going to got a little bit there. Get Well Soon. Get it set down on there. And then I'm going to bring in, I think, yeah, since I've got that gold foil on there, I'm just going to bring in some gold sequins. I rarely use sequins because I just don't have a lot of them. But I thought, since I'm using that gold on there, I might just bring in some and set them down on there. Oh, or spill the bowl. Now I want to get them lined up to where they're pretty straight. Try to do that. How does that look? It feels like that one needs to go that way a little bit. Okay, and I got those laid down. And that will finish off our card. I think that looks pretty too. All right, so let's move on to 13. Okay, so we've got elements for 13 right here, and I've pretty much got it laid out as well, I believe. Yes, I do. Okay, and I've already cut those, so those are good to go. I just need a card base, and this is going to be a top folding. So I'm going to use a top folding for this. Get this laid down. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Let's see. How does that look? Too much. Okay. I think that was the same, might have been the same pattern I showed on the first one there. All right. Get this one laid down. Got glue on my fingers. I can't seem to keep the glue off my fingers. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to bring in, I think I just die cut out a leaf from this autumn foliage that I'm going to add to it, because I had quite a bit already prepared for this one. So I'm just going to do that. Now I'm going to save this green tape, because that's a big old piece of green tape. I'm going to save it. See if I can pull this off of here. Oh, and I thought maybe it'd pull. Yeah, I got one little piece left in there. Okay, it came out. All right, so we'll just save that green tape for later because we don't want to waste that. And once again, I feel like I need another piece, another layer. So I'm going to grab another layer and we're going to assemble this. Okay, so this layer that I had missed was to be embossed. So I used falling leaves and I embossed it, and I'm going to leave it white, and it will help work with the, actually I think I'll bring in a tape runner. I think I just replaced my tape runner. It'll help tone down some of the pattern. I mentioned in my last video that I thought they were kind of dark and I wanted to lighten them up a little bit. So I think adding this white layer will help, and it'll also cover up that glue where I had gotten glue on my fingers and touched it. So I'm happy about that. So we get that laid down. And then the next piece is, let me see, which card sketch am I working on? This one right here is going to go there. That looks pretty on there. And I chose this embossing folder because I thought it looked a lot like that leaf that I'm going to stick on there. So let's just get this laid down. And it's going to go right up to the top. I think I'm supposed to go over a little bit. Give myself a little bit of an edge there. Make sure we get it straight. That looks pretty good. And then our next piece, I think we're going to just butt this almost. That one's a little long. We're going to have to shorten that a little bit. Let me shorten that. Okay. So these, not much of that embossing folder is going to show, but I'm just going to butt these right up next to each other and get it laid down. I should use my tape runner. I actually think it's a little quicker. And then do this. Lay that down right on there. And then this one's going to go on top of it. And this is where I'm going to use my tape runner just to speed things up. And it's going to line up the same way in the center there. Okay, so now we've got all that. And then I've got this green piece that is going to go across the middle. and I'll just add it. Now they've got it bannered, but I'm going to just leave it be because I think we've got enough banners on there with the 3 banners, and I'll just lay it straight across. And it looks like it's kind of toward the top. Get that laid down. All right. And then we've got our circle. This one calls for multiple circles. It actually has 3. I'm doing 2 plus my sentiment is what I'm doing. So I'll get that laid down. And that. And then you've seen me use this hello a lot in this challenge just because it's a very neutral sentiment that you can just send for anything. And I like to send cards to church people, so it is handy for that because, you know, if they're sick or you just want to say, you know, just anything in general, you can send that. And I've got that. And then I die cut out this leaf from the Spellbinders Autumn Foliage, say that right. And I'm just going to add it up here. And that will finish out card sketch 13. Let's move right on to 14. Okay, so I've got all of my elements for my card sketch 14. We'll get this one done and then we'll move on to the last one and we will be done with our fall series of Kendra's Card Challenge 12. So let's just get going. So I've got this pattern paper here again, and I think I want to go in this direction with it. Sometimes with the challenge, you do have to consider which direction you are going with the pattern paper. Okay, that looks good. And then this one, I took the same color that I used for my flower because I want to tie it back in, and I used my stylized trellis, did I say that already, to emboss that. So that's what we used. And we're just going to use our tape runner. Let's go this way. And we'll get this laid down. On there. And then we have a couple of pieces of pattern paper that we need to layer. This one is 1 1/4 by 5, and this is 1 3/8 by 5 1/8. So we'll get them layered together. Got a little edge on there. I think I might have cut them a little bit different than the card sketch now that I'm looking at it. I didn't quite have it trimmed right, so I got on there a little bit crooked. Let's see if I can fix that. I got this one laid on there crooked, so I'm just going to pull it off and try to straighten it up a little bit. Let's see if I can make it look any better. Okay, I think that's better. That'll work. And then let's get this one laid down. Sometimes that tape is not very forgiving, so you have to be careful with that. And that was one of those times, but luckily the paper was thick enough. Oops, I guess I needed to put that on there. All right, let's get this laid down. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Need to slow down. Crafting is for fun and relaxation. It's not a race. Okay, so this one is going to go, it's actually going to go all the way to the top and the bottom just because of the way I cut it. So it is a little bit different than the sketch, I will tell you that. And then this one is going to lay here like this. And I think I'm going to be okay as far as level because of my raised panel that's underneath there. So I'm not going to worry about that. And then I'm going to glue this one so I have some wiggle room since I've got that other one taped down pretty well. Get some glue on there. My glue is not wanting to come out. Oh, I'm coming out the side again. I don't know what's going on with that bottle. We'll just layer this one up. Get a nice little edge on that. Got our wiggle room. Okay, there's that. Okay, so we'll get our circles laid down. I'm gonna kind of made a little boo-boo there, so I'm gonna cover that up. Some glue on there. Try and get that centered. And then we're going to lay some glue on our flower and get it laid down right there in the center. Oh, I think that looks pretty. I like that. I like that color combination. I think it really looks pretty together. Now we just need to add a sentiment. Go with hooray, it's your birthday. And just get that on there. I think that'll look nice. So we'll straighten it up a bit. Looks like that needed to be straightened up a little bit, so I just kind of did that. And then let's just grab we'll just grab a piece of foam tape and go right down the middle with it. Get it popped up. I'm liking these last 5. I really like the kind of the changes I made in the pattern paper, and then bringing in the die cuts. I really like how, oops, I did it again. Gonna be a Britney Spears song here in a minute. Anyway, I do like how I kind of changed up my pattern paper and brought those die cuts in. Oops, I didn't get enough glue on that. Get some glue. Okay. Uh-oh, we lost one of our little dubers. I think it was an extra one I probably picked up off my desk. So get that laid down. Once we get that dried, we'll kind of fluff that up. And that looks really good. I like this one. I hope you do too. Let's move on to 15 and wrap this up. Okay, so for 15, this last one is going to be top folding portrait style. And I've got some ink on there, but it's not going to matter because I'm going to cover it right up. Don't waste those card bases. It's probably from Inky Fingers. And now this one is 5 1/4 by 4, and I'm going to have a little white poking out on either side. Let me get this straight like I want it. Get that laid down. So we got a nice little white edge on there. And then we have got, I need to get this laid down. Let's see. This is 3 1/4 by 2 inches. This one is. And this one is 3 1/4 by 1 3/4 is what it is. Did I make an edge on there? I think I made a little tiny edge on there. I don't like that. Okay. And then these 2 pieces I've already taped down. Actually, I think maybe I was going to flip this, but I didn't. I think I was actually going to flip this card. Nope. I don't know what I was doing. But we're going to go with it like this. It's going to be slightly different. Evidently, I've made this card my own. And I used the top piece that had the hole punch out of it because I thought, well, I can cover it up with that other layer. So I did that. And then I'm just going to try and center this to where I've got about the same on each side. The actual cut has you going from side to side, but I apparently didn't do that. So we're going to go like this. We're going to just kind of make it our own. And I'm going to layer this up. And I did this so I could have my baskets and have them upright. Like that. And then I've got some of these leaves that I want to bring in, but I think I want to just knock the brightness off of them. Okay, these are my two go-tos, Vintage Photo and Crackling Campfire. And I actually think I use this dauber for the Crackling Campfire. And I'm just gonna grab a little bit off of there because I do not need much. So what I'm gonna do is hit the bottom of my leaves with that. I know it's not a big change, but it'll just tone them down just ever so slightly. Okay, and I'm gonna hit the edges. I'm gonna bring in a little bit more of that, I think. Okay, so we will clean this off. Okay, so I like the variation of color that I got with the leaves, and I think I'm just going to kind of make a cluster of them somehow right here. I think that'll look interesting. All right, let's do that. Just get it laid down. And I want to lay this one the long way. And then we'll lay this one over the top. And then we just need a sentiment. Okay, so I've grabbed my sentiment, I've got hugs, and I'm just going to glue it up and set it down. And I've got quite a bit of glue on my fingers already. Everything's sticking to me. Grab my tweezers, and I've tried this in a couple different spots off camera and I've landed on this. I'm going to put it right here, and I like it there. I think it looks cool. I've got it 4 layers thick, so I've got some good dimension there. And then the sketch calls for 3 little dots here, and then 3 little dots there. And I just took my hole punch and punched some of that yellow out just to bring it back in. And I'm going to get those positioned where I want them. Let's see. Try and get the right side up. Put those there. And then it calls for 3 dots here, or embellishments, or whatever you got. I'm using what I got. And I'm just going to put those there. Oops, that's not straight. And there we have it. I finished that card. So that is all of my fall series Kendra's Card Challenge. So let's just recap the 5 cards that we did today. Okay, so I thought I would just jazz it up a little bit by bringing in one of my table runners. This is card sketch 11, and I used the Spellbinders Aster die that is $6.99 on it, along with the Glimmer Foil Cinnamon, and I think it's beautiful. And then for card sketch 12, I've got that Black Eyed Susan die, 3 gold sequins, and a Glimmer Cinnamon on it. And I'm just fluffing up my leaves, or my petals, just to add some dimension. And then for card sketch 13, I've got a little Hello Sentiment and a little leaf from my Autumn Foliage dies. And then for 14, I've brought another Aster die set in with a Birthday Sentiment and Stylized Trellis embossing folder. And then for 15, I've got my Hugs die, my Autumn Foliage, and I think this is a beautiful set of 5 cards. I really like how they turned out. I hope you did too. If you did, consider giving me a thumbs up or subscribing to my channel, and be sure to check out Kendra's Card Challenge. I really appreciate you watching my channel. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.